Hello class. Now we continue studying the iteration. You just study one iteration, and now we go to the second for iteration. You know what the for? We have three expressions inside. Okay, you know for that's the keyword of C. And in this, okay, you have three expressions. Okay, you have three expressions. The first, init. The second, condition. The last one, you have to change. Okay, you know, with the initialization, you need to assign the value to the variables or control variable you use for controlling for iteration inside over here. And this, you have to write the condition for ending the iteration over here. Okay, you know, when the condition or the expression or generally I said the value of these expressions is not zero, at the time it's true, so we go to the body of for to do. The statement over here may be simple or compound statement. Okay, and after having done the compound or simple statement over here, we go to init expression. Over here, that expression is for changing the value. Of course, you know, because you are studying for iteration, is one of the three iteration. So when you want to repeat sometimes, okay, so that time you need to use control variables. Again, over here, if you want to end the iteration, you need to change the control variable. And over here, we use the third expression to change the value for the current variable. Okay, and over here, you will see, firstly, we need to get the init expression. And then the condition. If it's true, so we go to the log body. Okay, and then we go to init expression for changing the value for control variable. And then you go to the test to check again if it's not zero, so we go to its body to do. But when it's zero, so we go out, or if it's 4, we go out. Okay, so you know over here we must write the semicolon, the first semicolon, the second semicolon. Okay, and they most exist. They most exist, but the expression init or end or re-init, they may not exist. Okay, they don't need to exist. Okay, for example, with the init over here, if you write, of course it's okay, that means it's here, it's okay, but you know, because you don't need to write, so at that time over here you don't need to write anything. Okay, the condition the same, but when you don't have anything over here, that means you always do the statement, you always do the body, the statement for the body of for iteration. And over here, if you don't have it, you need to get some condition over here for breaking out, for example. Okay, of course, in the statement over here, if you want to go out, at that time you can use the break statement. Okay, you can use the break instruction to go out. Now I give you example for. Okay, you know, the first over here now we have three expressions. The first you assign 0 to I, over here the condition, over here we change the I, and over here depending on the value of I, so we can print it out. Okay, so how many times do we need for iteration? Okay, I from 0 to 10, so we have 11 times. Okay, and over here now you have the control variable C from 0 to 25. Okay, in fact you have 26 iterations over here for the level 4. Okay, with this value. Okay, from A, as you look over here now we have E, Okay, the ASCII value of A plus 0, 1, 2, 3 to 25. Okay, and you can bring out with the output string, okay, percent %C, okay, to get small a, small b, etc. to small z. But over here now, please look at this for iterations. Show what you have. Class. What did you have? One time we write this. Okay, we think about this for me carefully. Okay, we think about this carefully. And when you go to the tab of live streaming, at that time I will explain this for you. But firstly, you should read. You see, that's so interesting. Okay, that's very interesting over here. As you know, the log 4 can be nested. Okay, so over here now you have 4 and inside you have 4. Okay, and we say they can be nested, of course, over here. That's still normal. Over here now, for instance, you use the order control variable. Over here you use MB1. With the second for you use MB2. Okay, and you can bring out their product MB1 times MB2 over here to bring out its product, its value. And you have another nested loop, okay? For example, over here, okay, you have 4 and 4. Okay, now you have example for 4, you compute, over here now you compute the sum, okay, of this. But at that time you can initialize the value 1, 2, and I. Okay, over here now you initialize value 1 to I, 1 to so over here you don't need to write, so over here you have nothing. The condition are changing. Okay, over here when you come here, okay, you do modification, okay, and you write this expression to get the item, okay, to get the item, okay, to get the item, okay, x divided by I, or x over I, okay, so over here we have the terms, okay, the item for the terms over here, okay, and then you have to add it to s, okay, to get the series, okay, firstly, now I1, term 1, so you have the first item S, okay, S and I1, so you have the first term over here. For the first item, you have the first term. And then we come here to increase I from 1 to 2. Over here in terms, so we have this, okay, we have this. So over here now you have X and I2. Okay, and totally we have X power 2, okay, and I1, 2, okay, I1, 2 for the divisor or denominator, so you have 2 exclamation, okay, that means a factorial of 2, okay, and then you add it to the series, okay, etc. to the end, okay. In fact, depending on the situation, maybe you for a while. But normally, generally with you for, but maybe you are. Okay, for me, I like using for. Okay. And for the device, you have the condition at the end, but firstly you have to do with the body. And when you go to the condition over here, if it's true, so we go back to the body to do. If it's false, so we go out. And we usually use while iteration for checking the value to check input. Okay, so over here now we input and we check. If it's that value go to 0, at that time we say now invalid value again. Again, that time you can go back to input again. Okay, over here. When we go out, we have the right value, the true value you want. At that time, you can use the value for n. Okay. So over here now you have the first example for calculating pi. Okay. you can compute to get pi with this. Okay, you have the same solution, so please read. Okay, please read them. Because over here I give you the full program. Okay, the full program when you solve it. And the code for 4. And the full code for the program. And over here, the problem 2, you have to find the prime numbers. Okay, you remember prime numbers? Okay, a number is prime if its only divisor is 1 in itself. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, so there are a lot of algorithms for finding a prime. Okay, over here. So I give you one example. Okay, and you have the full program. Okay, so you can read it at home. Okay, over here with the full program, the complete code. And the other you have break and continue. Okay, if you want me to go out from the iteration or switch case, you can use break. Okay, when we face break, we go out immediately. But when we go to continue, when we face continue, then you don't need to do the remaining statement right after continue. Okay. For example, over here now, if we face continue, if the conditions over here, okay, if the conditions over here is not 0, if it's true, so we go to continue to do. At that time, you don't go to